Greetings! What is up, everyone? Welcome to Elite Race Away, round number 1 taking place around Austria. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the driver lineup for this season, as I forgot to do that last week for the preseason race. So as you can see, I am driving for the Alpine team. My teammate is George, and then there's also a change as far as from last week's race. So it was Frozen who came in first for last week's race. He was driving for the Aston Martin team. However, he has dropped out of this division, the no assist division. So he has been replaced by Stupid Flanders. So unfortunate to see that he's not going to be driving for the Aston Martin team. However, it might make my run for the championship slightly easier. Now I'm showing you the race calendar for this season. So Bahrain last week for the preseason race, Spielberg, Austria for today, and then next week will be Austin, Texas, the United States. So I will definitely be looking forward to that as well. But we are here for this round number 1 around Austria, going through the penultimate turn. Now coming through the final turn to start our first push lap. DRS wide open, crossing the start finish line as we head to turn 1. Spot our braking at just about the 100, turning in well and taking that turn 1 quite well. DRS wide open as we head up the hill to turn 3, spotting our braking at just about the 100, hitting the apex quite well. There you can see Andy V setting a 105.481 to go provisional pole, and then Stupid Flanders sets a 105.010. We are currently, or have a purple first sector, so we have the fastest sector 1 so far of all the drivers. Now heading to the end of sector 2, and it is another purple sector. So we currently have the fastest 2 sectors for this qualifying session. Now heading to the penultimate turn, running slightly wide for the beginning. Now heading through the final turn, DRS wide open, and we set a 104.543 to put ourselves into provisional pole position. So now we head to the second run that we will be doing, and as you can see, we are currently in second place as the Modern Chicken is currently on provisional pole. So heading through the final turn, DRS wide open, crossing the start finish line, heading to turn 1, spotting our braking, going through turn 1 and not taking it well, or as well as the first run, as it did seem like we ran over the curb on the inside a bit too much. So now heading through turn 3, and we are now getting that time back as we take this turn better than we did in our first qualifying run. So now heading into turn 4 and doing that quite well, almost pretty much right on the limit. As you can see, Mac T setting a 104.199 to put himself into provisional pole position. We have just set a purple sector 2, so currently going slightly faster, but as you can see right now, the time is on our Delta is slightly going down as we're running low on the battery. So going through this final turn right on the limit, DRS wide open, and it is a 104.390 that keeps us in third position. Improvement of time, however, we do not move any places. So now heading into our last run, and as you can see, my tires, they are not warm enough on this outlap. So we decide to do one more outlap, or one more lap to warm up our tires. As you can see, we have enough fuel to be able to do another out lap. So we just want to make sure. There was a lot of traffic during that first out lap, so we decided to just back out, warm our tires a bit better, and then go for our push run. So there you can see, going through the final turn, DRS is open, crossing the start finish line, and we are heading into turn 1, and as you can see, we cut the inside too much, invalidate our lap time, and that is it. Our qualifying session is over, as this qualifying run is over. Only a minute and 25 seconds left. We do not have enough fuel to do one more run, so that is going to be it for qualifying. First, the Modern Chicken, starting on pole, MacT second, MK7 Hitch third, Andy V fourth. We start in 5th place, and then I'm just going to go to this other qualifying screen so that you could just see, I believe P15 to 20 wasn't showing on the previous one, so that you can see the full qualifying session result. So not the performance that we were looking for in this qualifying session, as last week we got pole position starting in first. This week starting in P5, however, it is all to do in the race. So now lined up on the circuit, it is 3, 4, and 5 red lights, and we are underway. And as you can see, getting a phenomenal start, making up 2 positions before heading into turn 1. And then as you can see ahead, MacT making his way past Modern Chicken, so the McLaren driver getting himself a good start as well. As you can see, we were looking to potentially make a move along the inside. However, the Modern Chicken somewhat cuts across us, not maliciously, but kind of makes his way across to ensure that he does stay in that second place. We decide to stay, or we do stay slotted in 3rd place for the time being. So it is MacT in first, the Modern Chicken in second, myself in third, MK7 Hitch of the Ferrari team in 4th, and then we have Andy of the Haas team in 5th place. Now heading to the penultimate turn, and now heading into the final turn. So this is going to be lap 1 over, as it is MacT setting a 1:10.912 to set the fastest lap. And since we're on lap 2, DRS is now enabled, as you can see us enabling it right there. Now heading up the hill towards turn 3, and the Modern Chicken is not going to try and make a move on MacT, stay slotted in second, us currently in third. Now skipping to the to the end of lap 2, coming through the final turn, it is going to be DRS wide open and lots of fastest laps as MK7 Hitch sets the fastest lap. However, there you could see stupid Flanders has crashed out and is out of the session, and it is a virtual safety car. So unfortunate for the Aston Martin driver of stupid Flanders. He is out of this race, as we are going to fast forward to the end of the virtual safety car period. As there you can see, virtual safety car is ending, and we are right on the back of the Modern Chicken. Now green flag conditions, and we have returned to racing speed, and there you can see MK7 Hitch right on our backs. As there you can see the Modern Chicken ahead of me, somewhat sliding going through that penultimate turn. So going through the final turn, DRS is wide open. We are still in 3rd place. Now heading through turn 1, it is DRS wide open. Using a bit of the battery, as there you can see we are looking back to see where it is that MK7 Hitch is behind us. The Modern Chicken looked like he was having a slight look on MacT ahead of him. However, he does decide to remain slotted in 2nd place. DRS wide open, heading slightly downhill towards turn number 4. However, everything remaining the same. MacT in first, Modern Chicken second, and myself in third. Now heading to the beginning of lap number 6, going through turn 1. It is DRS wide open, using a bit of the battery, still checking behind us to see what it is that MK7 Hitch is doing. But here you can see ahead of us, the Modern Chicken making his way past MacT, however, runs slightly wide. So that is going to cost him that first place, as MacT makes his way past, or back past, the Modern Chicken to go back up into first place. So heading through turn 4, now we're going to skip to the beginning of lap number 7. DRS wide open, still looking back to see what it is that the Ferrari driver of MK7 Hitch is doing. However, you can see we're making a bit of a run. However, we decide to stay slotted as Modern Chicken locks up. However, he makes his way past Mac T to go up into first place, and it's actually going to be DRS for the Modern Chicken. We are still currently in third place heading into turn 4. So yep, and then there you can see 50 and 07 is currently in 5th, so Andy V has dropped back. Now the beginning of lap 8 heading through turn 1, DRS is wide open, looking back, and there you can see MK7 Hitch is right behind us, looking ahead. The Mac T making his way alongside the Modern Chicken, but as you can see beside us, the Ferrari of MK7 Hitch makes a move on the inside, so that puts him into third place. We drop down to 4th for the time being. So it's Mac T in first, the Modern Chicken in second, myself, or sorry, MK7 Hitch in third, myself in 4th. Skipping to the beginning of lap number 9, it is DRS wide open. We're still currently in 4th place, MK7 Hitch ahead of us, and as you can see, a move being made, as that is the Modern Chicken making his way up into first, and then MK7 Hitch making his way up into second. So Mac T drops, 2 positions in the span of one straight and a turn. However, he makes his way back past the Modern Chicken to go up into second place, as we are just staying slotted in 4th place, watching everything going on ahead of us. Now skipping to the beginning of lap number 10, DRS wide open, and there you can see on the right side there, as you can see, blue flags. So we are all making our way past. As you can see, a bit of fighting that's going on, both between all of the drivers ahead of us, and then it looked like 50 was trying to make a move on ourselves as well. But yeah, those blue flag conditions, we lapped that driver that we passed on the right side there. So unfortunate for that driver. However, we are doing quite well, us front runners, as far as our pace is concerned. So it's currently Mac T in first, Modern Chicken second, and MK7 Hitch in third. Beginning of lap 11, DRS wide open for ourselves. Looking back to see what is happening, not really being threatened by the 5th place driver, as you can see lots of locking up by the drivers ahead of ourselves. So currently it's DRS wide open, Modern Chicken in first, Mac T making his way past to go up into first place. So that will drop the Modern Chicken down to second place for the time being. And at this point, I am looking at my tire situation, as I started on the mediums as well as Mac T, whereas the Modern Chicken and MK7 Hitch started on the hards. We are now at the beginning of lap 12. So I'm looking at my tire situation. I did set my pit stop strategy for lap 14, as here you can see, heading into turn 3, going up the inside of MK7 Hitch, a bit of wheel banging. However, we do make our way successfully past the Ferrari driver to go up into third place. So yeah, just assessing the tire situation. So I was kind of struggling with the medium tires at this point, as you can see it's Mac T running wide. The Modern Chicken is going to make a pass on the McLaren driver. So it also looks like Mac T is struggling himself on the medium tires. Here you can see heading into turn 3, it is MK7 Hitch making a move on ourselves. So DRS wide open, and at this point I'm kind of thinking to myself, we have one lap until we are supposed to pit. MK7 Hitch is on the hards. He definitely has better tire conditions than ourselves. So him making his way past us I am kind of happy to just stay slotted in 4th place for the time being. But at this point, I'm kind of thinking to myself, are these tires doing me a favor at this point? As you can see, my engineer saying that the grip is being lost, and he didn't have to tell me because I felt it myself. So I decided to pit 1 lap early. So here you can see us heading into the pits, slowing down to 80 kilometers per hour before getting to the line. So there you can see on the right, our pit window has opened, but we have pitted 1 lap early, putting on a set of hard tires, 2.2 second stop. Now running down the pit lane and now filtering back onto the track as we come through the pit lane exit, and we are just behind, well, not just behind, but we are behind F1 Original Pauly D, and we do have clean air, so we don't have to worry about the turbulent air kind of damaging our tires from a car being too close in front of us at this point. So now we skip to the end of lap 14. Here you can see we are catching up to F1 Original Pauly D, who is ahead of us. There you can see 2 drivers into the pits, so making up 2 positions. One of the drivers in the pits being our teammate. So heading through turn 1, we are within 1 second at the detection point of our Original Pauly D. So we did get DRS at that point, now in the midst of lap 15. And as you can see, we have caught up to F1 Original Pauly D, who has not pit at this point. So we decide that we're going to make our way past F1 Original Pauly D to go up into I believe that is 9th place. So yep, doing well at this point. As you can see, there are drivers in the pit lane at this point, exiting the pit lane, and one of them being that is MK7 Hitch in the Ferrari. So we have undercut Mac T, who is currently just behind us. He has just come out of the pits. However, MK7 Hitch has overcut ourselves as he pitted later than us. He was on the hard tire, but was still running well in that first stint. So doing a good job to stay ahead of us whilst pitting later. So we are staying slotted behind the Ferrari driver, and as he is on the medium tire, we know that he's going to be able to warm up his tires quicker than we were able to when we came out of the pits onto the hard. So we know he's going to have pace relatively early in this, or for this second stint on this outlap coming out of the pits. So as you can see, both of us making our way up to the Yuppie, and as you can see, it looks like both MK7 Hitch and the Yuppie touched at that point. So as there you can see, folk going to PO2 setting the fastest lap, the Yuppie running wide, so that is going to allow us to make our way past himself, and Mac T also following behind us. And here you can see Mac T making a move on ourselves to go ahead of us into turn 3. So yeah, these drivers who have pit later than us doing a much better job. And there you can see Mac T also making a move on MK7 Hitch. So at this point, Mac T currently flying and on the set of hard, so he's looking quite good on this second stint. So now we're going to be skipping ahead to the beginning of lap 18, DRS wide open. We do have a bit of a gap to the car that is behind us. There you can see MK7 Hitch making his way past Mac T going into turn 3. So DRS wide open for ourselves again, as Mac T looks like he is using that ERS, and he is going to make his way past MK7 Hitch to go back up into, I believe that says 5th place. It is slightly small for myself, so I can't really see it too well. I do believe it's 5th place. So now heading to the end of lap 18, and as you can see, we are now starting to catch traffic. So there are 2 cars ahead of ourselves. So through turn 1, DRS wide open. There you can see it is Mac T who is looking to potentially make a move, but he runs wide, and there you can see MK7 Hitch making his way along the inside. And there you see it's Mac T that is actually following himself. So that is the Yuppie that is now ahead of ourselves in the Kick Sauber. And we were kind of looking to try and make our way past the Yuppie as well. However, we were not able to, but we know at this point that we have to follow these two drivers. So there you see us making our way along the inside and past the Kick Sauber of the Yuppie to go up into 5th place. So luckily being able to make that move. So is DRS wide open for ourselves. We're running low on the battery, but luckily able to make that move to stay right behind Mac T and MK7. Now in the midst of lap 20, it's DRS wide open. There you can see MK7 Hitch and Mac T making their way past Andy of the Haas team. So at this point, just like previously, we're gonna try and have to make our way past Andy as now coming to the beginning of lap 21. So just like the way we have to make our way past the Yuppie, we have to make our way past Andy at this point. So there you can see as Andy going through turn 1 has a moment, and that is going to allow us to make our way past him up into 3rd, now using the battery heading into turn 3. And luckily we are within the 1 second of the DRS detection line, so we are able to get DRS going down this straight to help our straight line speed to stay with these front 2 runners. So now skipping to the beginning of lap 22, as you can see going through turn 1, DRS wide open. MK7 Hitch currently in 1st, but as you can see Mac T making his way along the outside and then past MK7 Hitch to go up into 1st place. So it is DRS wide open for ourselves and should be, can't see it well, but MK7 Hitch should have DRS himself, but he does not have the top speed to make it past Mac T, so he stays slotted in 2nd, us in 3rd, now into the midst of lap 24. As you can see, MK7 Hitch currently in 1st, Mac T in 2nd. It is DRS for ourselves and Mac T ahead of us. Mac T making his way along the inside and past MK7 Hitch. A bit of a lockup for the McLaren driver of Mac T. However, he does successfully make his way past MK7 Hitch. Now coming to the end of lap 25, and as you can see, MK7 Hitch making his way into the pit. So he is on a 2-stop strategy. Luckily we get the DRS off of him, and as you can see, we are pushing at this point to try and make our way to the back of Mac T, and we are within the 1 second of the DRS detection line. So we do get DRS going down this straight, heading up to turn 3, using the battery to try and get within the 1 second at the DRS detection line, which is that line we just passed there. However, we were not within the 1 second, so not getting DRS at this point. However, going to the end of lap 26, we are now within 1 second of the McLaren driver. So it is DRS wide open for ourselves. So at this point, it is now just a battle between myself and Mac T for the win of this race. So lap 27, currently now lap 20, beginning of lap 28. As you can see ourselves, both myself and Mac T making our way up to a back marker. So we are lapping this car that has locked up quite a bit, and it's actually my teammate that we are making our way past. So Mac T is actually going to get DRS off based off of the fact that he was within 1 second at the detection line of my teammate. So that is going to aid him in staying ahead going through that straight. Now skip ahead to the beginning of lap 33. The Modern Chicken is on fresh medium, so he is somewhat catching us at this point. DRS for ourselves, making our way, and there you can see blue flags. So yeah, the Modern Chicken made his way past my teammate, so catching us to an extent. There you can see me looking at my tires and the indicator showing that we have a lot of tire wear. However, now heading to the end of lap 35 and heading onto lap 36, this is the final lap of the race. So we have saved our battery heading into this final lap. DRS open going into this turn 1. Now DRS wide open. Once again, we are on the battery, and as it is right now, I'm thinking to myself, we could play DRS games and try and get behind him going into this detection line. However, what I knew is that my traction would not be good through this turn, so I decided to make my way past him using the battery. Mac T is behind me, and as you can see, he has the inside line. Unfortunate for myself, so I was not able to cut him off. Looking back at it, I was thinking to myself, maybe I should, right after that turn 3, the hairpin, I should have really cut off the inside, but unfortunately I was not able to do that. So Mac T making his way past us. There are now 2 turns left on this circuit. As you can see, I have track limit warnings to play with. There is one used there, another one used here. However, it is Mac T staying ahead of us. He is the winner of this race. We come home in 2nd place. A great drive, honestly, by Mac T. So here is the finishing results for the race. Mac T first, myself 2nd, the Modern Chicken in 3rd, MK7 Hitch coming home in 4th, and Matuzak coming home in 5th place. Here you can see the rest of the finishers. Yeah, so quite the interesting race for ourselves. It's unfortunate that we did not finish in 1st place. However, I will definitely take a 2nd, and only finishing 2/10 behind Mac T, who pitted quite a bit later than we did as well. We did our best, but unfortunately coming home in 2nd place. But as always, Austria does deliver, and it delivered for this race as well. So that's going to be it for this round 1. Looking forward to next week. The race will be taking place around the Austin, Texas circuit. Looking forward to that. I'm hoping that I can do better in qualifying for sure in comparison to this Austria race, but yep, looking forward to it. So make sure that you stay tuned for the review of next week's race taking place around Texas. And then also, if you do want to watch these races live with the live coverage and commentary, not from my POV, but a general broadcast, you can go to the league YouTube channel, which is Elite Race Away. So you can search that on YouTube. It'll be live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. So that is going to be it for this video. I'd like to thank you for tuning in, and make sure that you stay tuned for next week's review video around Texas. Until then, take care.